What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. Oh man, was busy with some stuff, kind of non-crypto related for a lot of today. So I kind of came on to see the markets, see how everything is going right now. A little bit of a different time than I normally stream, 7:30 right now. I probably should get on a schedule, but the main thing that we're looking at here is if we go to Bitcoin, we'll start off with Bitcoin as we normally do. The main thing we want to look at here is ultimately this kind of formation and potentially break up a little bit higher, retest potentially your 200 weekly moving average, which is high 27s. I think it's probably exactly at this point of control, right at 27.9. I would guess. I would say I've looked at it, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly where it is right here in this chart. It's probably around 28 even, let's say. So right here is going to be a huge area. Can we come a bit higher, maybe kiss, 28, 29K up here? Yes, I would think so, to potentially scare away a lot of the people trying to short. There's a harmonic that also kind of ends up there for the harmonic people. I'm still learning harmonics. I got to get into that a little bit more, but I'm going to have CVO Crypto on Friday, and hopefully he'll show us some harmonics, some of that, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, ultimately, that's what I'm looking at, kind of right now. And, what could we kind of decipher from this? I mean, you got some kind of, your bullish case here, 16 bull, gapped RSIs coming up on the 3-day. I think it's going to be kind of a no-brainer once this trigger wave, once this VWAP really comes, below kind of the 5 here, below the number 5 here, where we kind of reverse course and kind of, start to come down. That's what I think is potentially what could happen. Monthly green dot, I don't know if I would give that too much credence. I like the 6 bull. I thought it was 16 for a second. Not even that strong. Doesn't mean much until it confirms. Doesn't mean much until we could break above, kind of 29K. But I do think 29K potentially could be in the cards. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Hart Teaches? Yeah, you were right about XRP. I think I was mapping out. I didn't take the XRP long, but we did give the call. I did give the call in the Discord. And we'll look at ETH first, because people like to, what's up, Crypto CVO? What's up, man? I just mentioned that you're going to be on Friday. Talk about the harmonics. I know you were talking about 29K, and I think I could see it, man. I could see it if we could break above, break above the 28 again, maybe have some wicks up to 29. I think after that, you're probably done, though. I'm not, as of right now, I'm not really seeing that anything higher than kind of the 29 area. But ultimately, if it does play out like that, look, you're kind of something like that would make sense. And then potentially if there's kind of rejection downward would make sense. Traditional markets are generally more bearish right now. A lot of things are, more on the bearish side, and we'll talk about that. And yeah, Friday's going to be good, man. Friday's going to be good. And let's just look a little bit here. ETH is obviously, bleeding heavily against Bitcoin so far. And I think ultimately I'm keeping my eye on this this 2-day, this 2-day trigger wave coming down right here. If you look at the 10-hour, if you look at some of these time frames, I do think that you got a good shot of coming up a bit higher here. Bitcoin is 29K. Where would this go? It may only go to 17. This may lag a lot. But yeah, it's a local top knock punch. Potentially. I hope so. I kind of want it to go down. I want things to happen quicker. But, when you look at money flow coming up on like the 30-minute on ETH, it does look like you could get back up to 17 or something here. I think there's a decent shot of it. But I think this 3-hour is going to be, let me set a little notification for that. 3-hour crossing, money flow, value 0.0. Yeah, we'll go just once. I want to see when that happens. I think that's going to be a really good short opportunity there. So yeah, what's up, FD White? So yeah, and let's see. 30K Bitcoin and 1900 plus. Wow. Okay, so bullish 2 weeks, CVO. Bullish 2 weeks. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's possible, man, because there's a lot of fear with, obviously with these guys coming up. Maybe these guys, the interest rates go down a little bit. I'm hoping they will for my sake. But yeah, I mean, you got 17 bear right there. There are some things that would say that. And then if we do look at, let's look at, oh man, let's look at, what should we look at here? I forget. What's I want? Was it the Dixie? Yeah, if this goes to come down a little bit, which it might. Oh yeah, that 8 hour. Yeah, you're probably gonna come down a bit here. You're probably gonna come down. I mean, there's come down. I mean, especially your 20-hour bear div money flow generally coming out. I think you want to come down a little bit more, especially with a trigger wave. I don't know how low you would get. Maybe 106 again. A low 106s, 105 or something. But yeah. Yeah, CBO, and we got the trial going. I don't know how long that's going to take. Is it a public trial? I gotta watch to see what's going on with that. A lot of things are happening. Celsius too. By the end of the year, their goal is to open up withdrawals. That's pretty. So once Celsius opens up withdrawals, it's pretty much everywhere. So when FTX, obviously that bankruptcy, but you know we're gonna have a lot of answers. You see Sam Bankman-Fried in prison, go to prison. I don't know what the hell he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get at least some slap on the wrist type sentence, at least a few years. You know, at least a few years. I think they're going to find him guilty of some things. I don't know if he's going to get life or 20. Well, the most he would probably, I don't think he could get life. The most he would probably get is like 20 or 25, right? Something like that. We got to see, but yeah. Let's take a look at XRP. So XRP, you're talking about 63, 65 cents, yeah. Well, we were talking about, I was talking about 55, these wicks up. This is a big area. And when I look at this, I don't see no issues. I don't see any problems right away. There, and then, neckline. Yeah, you might be right, man. We might get up to 60 cents here. We might be, and that would coincide with what CVO, with what you're saying, because if you do something like that, next 2 weeks potentially could be, this could be a good, this could be a possibility. I mean, reverse head, this is common sense right here would tell you something like this could happen for XRP. 60 cents, I think, can be in the cards. After that, though, I think you're going to see more of this little trigger wave on the monthly kind of start to play out. But who knows? Maybe, I know there's some people talking about $6 by the end of the year. Maybe, who knows? Doubt it. Yeah, I kind of doubt it, but yeah. XRP is like such a boring one, or a weird one, I should say. Cardano, that's a weird formation here. That's an interesting formation. You can mess around with this double bottom thing. I mean, you already hit your technical target essentially there. I feel like Cardano is looking weaker than XRP. I don't know if I would, because I think what kind of looks like it may end the fun, and this could be around October 15th by the time you see this, is the money flow coming into the red on the 3 hour. Money flow coming into the red in the 3 hour, I think, could be a big place there. And when we look at, I just want to, money flow is still deep on that 2 week. I think that needs to come up. I think you're eventually going to come down to, 15 cents or something here. But yeah, what's up, Crypto Itachi? And by the way, guys, if you want to check out the Discord down below, that's always good. Me, Crypto Bull Zone, Atlanticor, KMAC, a lot of good sauce in there. And then the completely free Crypto DCA course, that's in the pinned comment in the chat. Completely free, no nonsense. I think it's a good starter, especially for people wanting to know when to DCA in, when to DCA out. A lot of good strategies there, so check it out, completely free. XRP right there, and then let's take a little look, see at maybe some silver. Silver is interesting. I do think this could potentially recover, especially if you do think, traditional markets will recover a bit more. That's a double bottom. You could come back up to 21, high 21s potentially. is what I would be looking at. Metals got killed in this, which is interesting. March of, it was, geez, that was low for silver. I didn't realize how low it went in March of 23, but then bam, right up there. So yeah, still well above September numbers though. September at 18 bucks an ounce, low. Meta 12 hour, man. Let's take a look at Meta. Kind of bullish on the 12. Macro, I would say, is pretty bearish, but you know, nothing goes down or up in a straight line. Short term, I think it could potentially come up a bit more here. We'll see what happens though. S&P 500. We'll take a look at this. Like I've been saying, guys, macro not so good. Short term, you know, bull divs and stuff. I think you come up a bit. I don't think it's gonna be anything too crazy. I mean, if you do come up, you have a bullish week back up to 420, high 420s. I think that could be where you kind of start to reverse course and go down farther. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe second, like CVO, like you were saying, second half of October could be that real red. You do have the yellow X on the 20 hour here, so that's a pretty bearish sign. But yeah. Let's see here. You guys, always appreciate if you smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and check out the Discord down below and the free course as well down below. So yeah, I think the swing short is going to really be on this money flow crossover on the 3 hour. I think that's going to be most likely the place to do it. And if you guys are interested in a good exchange where you want to potentially make a swing short, not financial advice, but if you know how to trade, if you know risk management, what you're doing, check out all the ones down below. Those are the 4 best ones I think to use in this environment where KYC is being required on some. All those down below, you don't need to use a VPN except for PHEMEX and sometimes MEXC. Always safer to use one. I've worked out some good promos for you guys, especially with the MEXC and the FAIRDESK promos. You guys, if you deposit, FAIRDESK, if you deposit any amount, do one futures trade, you get a really good shot of winning $100 in trading bonus. MEXC, $200 if you deposit at least $100, really good shot. And we announce the winners in the Discord every week. So yeah. So if we look at, let's see, ascending triangle on the 15-minute, let's take a look at that. So you're talking about, I'm on this side, we'll go on the 15. If you're zooming in, I mean, this is just an ascending, yeah. I mean, you could, I mean, if you're to, yeah, I mean, it drew a technical target from this kind of breakout thing. Where was your technical 22? Yeah. I mean, you got a spiral line right there. I think that's a big point. It's kind of looking like you're going to get there. I mean, a kind of a, you know, I would say a low risk, high reward kind of trade right now would be something along the lines of potentially, let's see here, there, and then potentially up here. That's low risk, high reward. Keep in mind, though, price does tend to try to wick you out. Let's see. Ben Cowan mentioned that we might see a pullback in Dixie, which will pump the market mid-October. Yeah. Crypto Tachi. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I don't know if you were around. We were talking about the Dixie coming down, and in the market, we were just talking about that. CVO was talking about that too. But yeah, I mean that is 100% what I think is a good shot of happening. Now, sometimes though, in these bearish times, things look like they're turning around. Things do look like they're turning around, and then the other thing kind of happens, and then maybe this yellow X on the 20 hour turns out and just brings us down farther. That's what you got to be careful with. I don't know what's going to happen here. I think either one of two things will probably happen with Bitcoin. If you want to know what I think is happening with Bitcoin, one, we kind of reject from the 200 weekly moving average around 28K, maybe 28.2K, and then that's it. Two, we come up to probably this area around high 28s. Maybe you wake up to 29, kiss 29 or something, you know, up here. But I'd be surprised if you could get, you know, higher than 29. I mean, now I'm talking about every possibility, 30K, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, man. I mean, we'll see how things look when we do pump up higher. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know there's always. I mean, if you look at enough years in the Dixie, man, you're gonna find some comparison somewhere. Look at the October 2014. I mean, probably gotta go on the monthly to even. Let's see here. Why am I having so much trouble? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a little correction, and then you came down. Yeah. I think that I think that this is generally still bullish on the macro. When you get bearish dips like this, 17 bear in the 20 hour, I think this 20 hour probably will bring you down. Where would we go? Would we come down all the way to retest 104? Probably not. I could see 105 or something, 106, 105. ETF was our fuel. I think we need that to get approved, and I think that's going to be. I haven't been following the ETF. I probably sound dumb saying this, but my original kind of estimate with that is we'd have to wait till kind of March, April next year, and I think that'll come up with the happening. I think people get too excited about the ETF. Like the ETF's almost depressing because at the point of an ETF, it's like most of the opportunity is gone. Not to be too negative, but you know what I mean? Like the ETF at this point, like ETF is just boomer. You know what I mean? Like how much returns are you going to get after the ETF comes down? Maybe a 10x over 10 years. You know what I mean? Like not that much. It's not out yet though, but yeah. Let's see here. I mean, the technical target on the Dixie is going to be 109, and I think you could get up to 110 pretty easily. Let's see here. Let's see. Curious about like AVAX. I mean, some of these alts did, yeah. I mean, now you're breaking. Oh, this is good. This is kind of. I mean, that's one technical target would be around where we are right. Ooh, yeah, that's a technical target right there. Be careful. I mean, if you want to do a technical target out of this kind of formation, then you're looking at that high. Which if Bitcoin does pump up to 28, 29K, not impossible to come up to this area right here. How could you trade this? Well, you could try to trade this breakout. Let's see what you could do with this. I mean, I had a lot of long kind of setups in the Discord. I'm too afraid to freaking go long on these for some reason. I don't know why. I should be, though. That's minimal risk, high reward. I mean, if you want to go a little bit below that area, something like that would probably do well. Yeah, CVO. News is interesting. 800 EMA. That's a big place. Yeah, I don't remember Mr. Hart. You had a lot of good predictions though, brother. You had a lot of good stuff. I mean, what do you think? How low is the Dixie going to go in your opinion? What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, I mean, get it. All right, so you're thinking for the alts. You're thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's risk. Like get in, wait a week, get out. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at maybe 10% here. I think this wick over here could be interesting. Because right there, everybody thought AVAX was dead, going down to $5, and then nope, came up back to 10. But you come up a little bit higher here, but I think it's just gonna be like this, or like this, or like this, or like that. You know what I mean? You just come up and then you roll over, and I don't know where you're gonna end up, but I think you could come down lower here. I think you probably will. I mean, regardless of what happens, I think Bitcoin dominance is generally going to go upward. And I think alts will generally continue to bleed against Bitcoin for probably into later this year or early next year or something. I mean, you do have a technical target on Bitcoin dominance at 58%. I don't know if you're going to make it that high, but I think this traffic stop could be interesting. I mean, you just hit that low here, 52, rejected fiercely from it. I think you could come up higher than that. I also think that this month and next month could be big months for Bitcoin dominance. That's what I think. I think we could kind of catch up with this line here, this trend line here. So yeah. We could look at Solana. I was a little bit bullish on Solana the other day, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm like too scared to freaking make these trades, but I mean. Like my I don't know, my faith in altcoins is low, but I mean, I feel like AVAX, maybe the wick here, $30 or something. This area could be significant. I do think you could test 30. I think these gapped RSIs could come up a bit more, and then you're probably going to come back down. Trigger wave. I mean, trigger wave on the 4-hour here I think could be pretty big. Anchor on the 3 is the same thing. Same thing with the 5-hour right there. Just no reason. Interesting. 51.6 years ago. Brendan Woods, yeah. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen in November? Could you elaborate on that, Mr. Hart, a little bit? What do you think is going to happen? But yeah, there's a lot of fear with the. I mean, we gave a lot of I had a lot of good trade setups I posted, but I didn't actually enter the trade. This one too. I mean, Algorand, big point right here, bull div on the weekly. But I mean, now you're coming back down. You didn't even get a trigger wave on the 3-hour or 3-day, excuse me. RSI is coming out down right there. I think you should be okay. I think we will come up higher. I don't know if this is the best one to mess with right now, though. There was another one that was looking pretty good, hitting a major point. Was it Zcash? I think it might have been Zcash. A few of them, because they're just so they've been just so depressed. It's they have to have some type of recovery. Just be careful. Look at these last 2 trigger waves. That was down. That was down. I mean, if you're gonna play out I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be this bad, but look, I mean, if you end up doing something like that, that's $14, which is not impossible here. And I do think from where we are right now, some of these could come down. Another 50%, 40, 50%. We were just looking at AVAX. I think it could come up higher probably. I don't have the courage to go long on it though right now. Bitcoin Cash, CBZ was messing with this a lot, doing pretty well. He was I think he was shorting it last. He's doing a lot of good trades with this, but what would be the equivalent of the 45? What? Yeah, it is the 45-minute AK, yeah. Yep. Accumulating as a trader, I don't care about catching my bull market. It's much easier to trade and make money. It's great. Yeah, it is, man. The bull market is very. I mean, you don't really need much leverage, and when you do use leverage, it seems to help. All the harder things, to master are easier to do in the bull run. It's pretty crazy. And there's people that made 10x's pretty easily in the bull run. It's crazy. I mean, in days of leverage trade, just on big pumps, but yeah, it's nuts. What do you think, Mr. Hart, in that situation? In that, I think you might be right here. I mean, about the default part, I don't think they're just going to print more money and bring the dollar to zero. But I mean, it depends how you define default, I guess. What do you think of real estate in that equation, in that situation? I think real estate, hard stuff. I mean, but you're thinking not Bitcoin. You're thinking Bitcoin won't even do well in that situation, I feel like, right? What's up, Nightshade? How's it going, buddy? Yield curve. Okay, so that's obviously you're thinking recession, yeah, because of war. Well, why would war make Bitcoin not do well? That's what I'm curious about. Real estate's the last thing ever come. Probably. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. There's a lot of different views on it. I mean, nobody really knows. I know Cool, he's pretty bullish in real estate. Obviously, CVO is as well. Take out the power grid. I mean, is that what happened during World War II? You'd have to be invaded, right? Oh, okay. CF is still along, yeah. He's got the secret weapon. Well, the thing with that, I mean, Yeah, in those doomsday scenarios, what's up, Crypto Billy? It's been a minute. In those doomsday scenarios, I mean, I guess if you have a generator, you may be okay. But yeah. Hard tangible assets. Bitcoin did dump that. I remember that down to 30K around. Then it had a nice pump there, Nightshade. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It depends on the proximity of it. Like we know there would be a lot of volatility. We know it would dump at first, probably if something bad like that does happen. Um, I don't know what part of the world would be. I mean, Mr. Hart, under your under your what you're talking about, what part of the world would be the best part of the world to be in if these things do come to fruition? Um, Prices never coming down for real estate. I think for real estate I mean, nothing goes up straight forever. I think we got about 5 years. I think we got late to the late 2020s into early 2030s potentially for real estate. That's my guess. From what it was in 21 to now, I don't think you're going to see that. You're going to see more diminished returns. My guess is like something worth, 500-600K probably will be worth like 700-800K by the end of the decade, I would guess. So nothing too crazy, but I think it's going to keep going up. Thailand could be a possibility. I mean, Bali, people like. I want to go to Bali next. A lot of places people like. I mean, in terms of, maybe Central South America. Yeah. Anywhere there's no people. I mean, okay, so you're saying like basically buy property in a rural area, or if you bought farmland, probably Central South America. Yeah, you'd have to buy farmland. That's what you'd have to do. That would be the best thing to do, which is not a bad idea. You could probably buy some farmland pretty inexpensively in, Central America or something, which would probably be a good place to do it too if you wanted to go into that business, into that industry. But I mean, you got to defend it as well in that situation. Like you got to buy, things to defend yourself as well. So it's not, it's not a cheap proposition. You definitely need a few $100,000, I would say, at least, to kind of set it up. Tasmania, why do I forget where that is? Costa Rica. I've been to Costa Rica, yeah. $100 Bitcoin, I don't really understand that, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think for that, I mean, Mr. Har, what's your timeline? What's your timeline on that when do you think things are going to get that bad? Like, how long is it going to take? I mean, I would say late 2020s, early 2030s. It would probably be the minimum you'd see that. It could be 2040s by the time you see that. I mean, obviously, there's a situation where you may not see anything that bad, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. I have no idea. Not the big one. What do you mean by the big one? Kind of coming down with the money flow there. 4 hour, 4 minute. Things are bearish in the very short term. Okay, so part of Australia, yeah. I mean, I don't think that would. I mean, it really depends. It depends how paranoid you want to be. I think in that situation, I mean, just having money. If you just have money, you're going to be able to probably get to the place you want to be. Yeah, Rome didn't. It's going to take a while. I think you're going to see more of like a real, transition, a big shift of it in the 2050s probably, where you're going to see like a real, changing world order shift, things of that nature. 50s, maybe the 40s is where you see a lot of things happen, but really where it's felt is the 50s. Yeah, it's insane, man. Yeah, real estate's weird with all the printing of the money. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen, and it's also different based on location. I mean, um, Yeah, I mean term limits, obviously, but that's not going to happen. Even the leaders, I don't even think that would make much of a difference because they're so controlled by. I mean, Dianne Feinstein just died, and she was what worth hundreds of millions, or kids are going to inherit hundreds of millions. I mean, it's just fully controlled by the billionaires. I mean, it's not really. I don't. I maybe term limits would change it a little bit, but it's the big money. The money talks, BS walks. I mean, that's kind of the truth. Like crypto face thinks it should be BS talks, money walks, which is interesting. It could be like that. Cashed out. Oh, you cashed out. You sold the house. Yeah, I mean, there's always people worrying about the other generations and all that, and it's really relative too. I mean, it's very relative. You have people in the world with very little money at all. They live great lives. They're very happy. You have people with lots of money that are depressed, miserable. So I mean, it's very it's very relative. But I think that the freedom is kind of the most important thing. Yeah, I mean, you really want to be in a position, at least in my opinion, where you have freedom to kind of leave, freedom to travel whenever, if you wanted to leave tomorrow and go somewhere. I mean, you should be able to. So yeah, so that's a big thing there. Mm. Um, 100 acres in Georgia, nice. Yeah, it depends who you talk to, man. You know, it really depends. Like people, the more I've traveled and the more different people that I've met, the more like, because like culturally, different places are just so different from American culture, and like the view. I mean, the thing I wish I kind of traveled a little bit earlier, especially like more when I was in college, was because there were things that like I wish I experienced many years ago, and it kind of things in different places are so different. I'm not saying it's like better or worse, but culturally, I mean, it's very different in different places. America is more like if you went to LA versus like Florida, it feels like you're in a different country. Kind of, it's very different, but it's still kind of homogenous, you know what I mean? But like certain other places of the world, like very different. And I think a lot of Americans probably don't really realize that because I'm not saying any place is better or worse, but there are certain problems that you would probably cultural problems, things. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but there's you see what pop culture kind of complains about, what a lot of people complain about in these podcasts, like was it Fresh and Fit podcast, whatever podcast, like a lot of those issues that these people talk about are basically non-existent in a lot of different places in the world. I mean, it's just culturally, it's a lot different in different places. Um, you could be, in one place, you could be even in parts of America. I mean, in certain places, you could be a complete outcast. Nobody really likes you. You can't relate to anybody. Other places, everybody loves you. I mean, that's true in different parts of the world. I mean, I think that's an important thing. If you have the freedom to be able to travel and live wherever you want, I mean, that's a big thing. Naval Ravikant talks about that. That's a huge, I mean, if you're able to do that, that's a huge thing. And the thing, too, that you got to realize too is when you have money, like there's going to be everybody breathing down your neck trying to, take what you have from you. I mean, that's kind of how it is. So there's new problems that kind of arise. Um, yeah, I mean, first world problems, third world problem. I mean, the thing too is like, I mean, even there's a lot of things that have declined in America too. Like quality of health care is way down. Life expectancy is down. I mean, even obesity. America, I believe, is the most obese country too. I mean, that's strange. That's a problem that most third world countries don't really have. But obviously, they have many other problems. What's up, Jay Sherlock? Appreciate you, man. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's that. I could see 2027. Yeah. I mean, if you're to April 20, what you're thinking that in terms of what? Yeah. You're trying to bulk. All right, bulk is in not bulk is in gain weight, right? You're talking about something else, I think. Supplies and stuff, right? Is CryptoFace live right now? Did he go live yet? I'll probably end it when he goes live and just watch him. But yeah, I mean, ultimately getting back into like analysis, stuff like that. Yeah, he's like, okay. I'll probably, I mean, there's not too much else to really talk about right now. We can look at the NASDAQ a little bit. I mean, it's possible we stay bullish, like CVO was saying. I think there's a decent shot we could stay bullish, I mean, this is your kind of swing short, for the NASDAQ. Price will probably find a way to, I'm not in this, but price may find a way to come up to these levels, reject from there. Think there's a possibility to come up a bit more for the next 2 weeks, potentially 29K for Bitcoin, a little bit higher for some of the other things, and then after that, it's probably kind of done for. The other one too that people have been talking about because it's just so down, obviously TLT. Oh my golly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow X's. Could this be bottoming out? I don't know, but I think it's kind of a no-brainer where it probably is once this money flow starts coming up and you start seeing bullish dips here, especially on the monthly. Bond short squeeze, special. Let's hope for stock market. Yeah, what are you thinking, man? I mean, I'm about to buy a property, so this is like really irritating me right now. Because that's a freaking, we were at 4.2, now we're at freaking, yeah, I mean, if you were to, yeah, it's not fun to be trying to get a loan right now. Right there, bear div. This thing, it doesn't look like it's exactly done. I mean, I feel like you're going to come down a little bit, potentially with this daily bear div, but this doesn't look like it's done by any means. I think it's going to eventually end up at 5.5. Everybody's too bearish on bonds, are they? I mean, this is up. I think it's going to keep going, but I think you may come down a bit in between there. Jeez, this thing is. I thought the Fed has to raise more to get this to. How about Apple? Oh, okay. You're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, my bad. I don't look at those charts as much. I got you. Yeah, you're talking about TLT. Yeah, you think that'll come up? I think it. Yeah, especially if the S&P 500 starts to come down more. TLT, if you're willing to hold it, I think is not a bad idea, but I don't know. I'd almost rather buy Bitcoin. This looks terrible right here. Bitcoin. Oh, do we have a daily green dot now? No, not there. Oh, that's rare. Heikenashi's, yeah. What could happen with this? Probably a bit higher. Green dot also on the 12, yeah. It kind of looks like we could come up more, yeah. 28 too, yeah. This pocket's big. I mean, we'll see if we could break through 200 weekly. Daily not looking bad. I mean, usually this takes a while to play out, though. This could take that 2 weeks. It could be more sideways since we're more excited. Come up a bit more. Yeah. $36K. Wow. Yeah, right there. Let's see FT White. But yeah, let's go around. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up in a minute and see what Crypto Face is doing. Yeah, by the way, completely free new Crypto DCA course, trading course we're doing discount as well. And check out the Discord, especially we're doing the Academy side. I mean, there's so much stuff that we've been building and working on throughout the bear market. We got a lot of good people in the Discord too. Really great community. CBZ, Lanacor, KMAC, all have been killing it lately, as usual for the most part. So yeah, really good community. Check it out. And we do the promos. FAIRDESK, MEXC are really good for the promos. All the exchanges down below are the best ones I think to use right now in terms of, you know, having a good shot of, you know, being completely safe. No VPN required for the most part, except for Prime XBT. MEXC, I would use one just to be safe. But yeah. So always appreciate, you know, check out the links down below. Always working to get good promos for you guys to help support the channel. If you guys are interested, check those out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will probably see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably make a video at some point. Also, for the last thing here, if anybody's still listening, is for the vlogs and other stuff, I have started a second channel for that I'm going to be doing those on. It's called Evan Aldo Motivation, because I know on this channel you guys don't really care about the vlogs and all that. So, hey, maybe we'll get a few hundred people subscribe to the new kind of channel there. So, yeah. ILO, initial low of the week set in Asia. So